please, would like to be back here for 2 p.m. and please, I'll see you shortly. Thank you. Socialize, talk to people. This is your opportunity. And for those online, I'm afraid, look at the wonderful guests we've got here. Get an Uber, bring yourself here. All right, see you here. See you back here at 2 p.m. Thank you.
I'm back on live Zoom. That one I can't really do the Zoom because the quality decreased. So like the quality that it is right now, it was very, very choppy when I was streaming from Zoom because Zoom will decrease the quality because it's more than
Yeah, we didn't get, in YouTube Live, we didn't get his conversation.
I have to share this to.
What happened? Why put this?
The Zoom quality was the quality of Zoom was too choppy, so I had to switch it so I can stream from this directly. So I couldn't go.
Direct, yeah, that's the best thing to do. Direct to YouTube.
I've sent the new link to the stream.
What, the Wi-Fi? You need the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not gonna work.
I mean,
Like, because this keeps ending in slides.
yeah. Because the thing I was trying to do before, I was trying to stream directly from the app, but the app is very strict with my Wi-Fi.
Oh, you check
allowing
we don't have it.
yeah, with that. Because obviously the Wi-Fi has all the special characters, has like the dollar signs and everything. The app's not allowing it. That would have been the best option. Because with that, I could at least pick this up and start moving around.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's not allowing it.
I think you can get like videos or pictures, but it's hidden.
I can,
But you don't want to capture it. And that's what I think you're going to help you do.
because
You worry.
if it's
Now it's not
I can't
direct
get videos.
YouTube.
Yeah, direct. Because I can't
It's
really.
fine. Well, another chance anyway. I don't let him get money. Well, hopefully it works. That's what that's good. I think you want to video.
Because the only thing is, I
Oh,
can't,
you got
do,
video,
I can't do video and live at the same time.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Also, I didn't get the videos. Check. You get some videos. Well, sorry. She comes. You did your okay.
So I should just do the live from here.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, now let me check
What actually missed his speech? Missed the main speech from Antonio.
Honestly, it's things I don't know why it's
Is this a Wi-Fi over here? Wi-Fi which is
yeah, Wi-Fi here is not really good, at least from what I heard.
use your phone Wi-Fi then. That's the only other way.
But it should be fine now. It's behaving. Things are easy. This is my How was the sound? And you have a USB cables, USB-C. You can send it. Yeah, the sound should be fine now. So how's the sound? Okay, the sound should be fine. The sound should be fine. The speaking about to test the sound. Okay, this is too loud.
Thank you, Mama. You're right.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Yes, sir.
How was this sofa? You know what?
I had to restart the stream because the internet was playing up because we were streaming
You want
through.
Wi-Fi? You want my Wi-Fi?
No, I have the Wi-Fi.
You got Wi-Fi?
It should be fine now.
The sofa has an MCU. Am I clear enough?
I don't know. The sound. I don't know. It was quite low. I don't know if there's like a mix or whether they're trying to sound.
When I came back,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, sounds quite low.
ladies and gentlemen, we're ready. We're ready for the second half. 1, 2, 1, 2, check. Mic check. 1, 2. 1, 2, mic check.
Is that the mic?
Yeah, his mic.
Microphone is easy. That one I sent you. Here was
Which of this area six?
It's already right.
I know.
I think that back. Like,
This side.
Space there.
yeah, this battery is there.
Yeah, we actually do this makes sense.
I just keep playing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back, thank you for returning, and those online, thank you for joining. Just having a technical difficulty, that should be sorted in a few seconds. Thank you for your patience. Apologies again for very minor faults. We are doing our best to resolve. Now we'll be moving to the next item on the list for discussion, and that will be football, talking about the football industry. Specifically, we're talking about insight into management, agency, and development within football. We have three speakers on the subject. We have Jide Ladpo, licensed FIFA agent, entrepreneur, and technologist. We have Julio Rodriguez, the sport director of Las Rosas Football Club Spain, and we will also have Mr. Angel Campos, the chairman of Las Rosas Football Club Madrid, Real Madrid Foundation Board. First, we'd like to invite Mr. Jide to come up and present on this. Thank you. Give a wonderful clap for Jide.
Good afternoon, everyone. In this not so sunny London, just don't talk about the weather first. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a fantastic opportunity and a fantastic event. When Anthony reached out to me a couple of weeks ago that he was organizing something of this nature, I said, why not? Because I'm very passionate about football and also very passionate about helping young people within the industry. So today, the topic that I'll be talking about is the voice of possibility, and also looking into the areas of, how players can tap into their entrepreneurial side, because there's a lot of potential when it comes to a footballer's career. So we're going to look into that. The voice of possibility, redefining life beyond the game. But just before we start, this is something that really resonates with me. We lost Diego Jota this year, and it really hit the football community very hard. but something happened a couple of weeks ago. And the reason why this is very close to my heart is because I do work with a lot of young talents from all around the world. And I do see that sometimes they get advice that is not right for them. This story popped up on my feed. You know, someone reached out to me from Africa a couple of weeks ago. Young guy, promising footballer in Senegal. We do know that there are a lot of clubs in Europe that goes to Africa to get talent. So, you know, young players around the world, they're very desperate to come to Europe. And you won't blame them for it because Europe is where, you know, we play the good football. We got lured to Ghana that there was a trial. He came from Senegal, he jumped on the plane, he went there, not knowing that, you know, the people who lured him there were, you know, unscrupulous people. They were kidnappers. They kidnapped him. They asked for money from his parents. He didn't have it, and he got killed. So I just want us to have just like a 10-minute moment of silence. When Diogo Jota died, the whole football world knew about it. And I think a story like this, because this is the reason why I do what I do, you know, making sure that, this is the reason why I do what I do, you know, getting young people to follow the right path in their careers. You know, it's an unfortunate incident. The authorities in Ghana and Senegal are looking into it at the moment. So let's just have just like a 30-second moment of silence for Chioke Toure. We pray that his soul rest in peace. So, it's a pleasure to be here once again. My name is Jide Ladipo. I studied in London Metropolitan University, and I studied entrepreneurship. I always believed in, you know, the possibility of working for yourself, being self-reliant. Didn't knock my friends that wanted to go get their 9-to-5 jobs. I did it a bit after I finished uni, but I just went to study entrepreneurship because that's my background. I'm around 2004, 2005. My cousin managed 3 football players, and I was acting as his assistant. One played for Fulham, one played for Leicester City, and one played for Gillingham. They didn't quite end up, you know, to the top of their careers because, as we know, if you line up 100 footballers, maybe like 2 or 3, you know, the margin of success is very, very low. But what I learned from the process of my, you know, cousin managing them was some of the mistakes he made, right? Not being properly licensed, giving them wrong information, you know, just wanting to get them into a club because the money was there and things of that nature. So that kind of inspired me that, you know, what does it take to help a football player get from a place where they've got potential to seeing how can we build your career? And also, what can we do beyond just you being a football player, right? Again, I brought my experiences from entrepreneurship. I'm very versatile. I'm involved in various industries, you know, mining, agriculture, and a lot of these things. And I tend to bring that business entrepreneur side of me into advising my football players because your career is always going to be short. So that kind of pushed me into it. Now, you know, over the years, trying to get the FIFA license, the FIFA license was extremely hard. I remember doing the exam in 2006. I was quite young then, and I walked into the exam hall. You know, we didn't have the internet as much as we did these days, and I sat down. I was the only person who was under the age of 30 was in the room. You know, most of the people there, they were elderly people. And I remember one guy looking at me and just was like, "What are you doing there?" I said, "I just came to write, you know, the exam." I said, "Young man, do you know, like, the pass rate to be a FIFA license agent?" "I don't know. I just came here to write the exam." He said 11%, and it was quite right because it was extremely hard. So, I mean, I was still in uni then, and you know, it took me quite a while for me to kind of adjust to the fact that it's an hard exam. It took me over the years. I tried it 2 or 3 times, and again, then if you tried it 2 or 3 times and you failed, you have to wait for an extra 3 years. They will actually buy you for 3 years for you to sit for it again. So I kind of give up on the idea. But again, there was this resilience part of me that I could keep going and going and going. FIFA deregulated, they handed over the licensing to the FAs because FIFA washed their hands of it. And then every Tom, Dick, and Harry wanted to be a licensed agent, right? They wanted to come into the industry, be a licensed agent because it was easy. You just paid the FA X amount of money and you got, the right to represent the player. And then I think around 2020, FIFA kind of started bringing back the licensing again. And I said, oh, I think I'm a bit more mature now. Let me just try it. And then, I went for the exam this year, I passed it. But I've been in the industry for quite a while. I've networked with, thank you very much, a lot of people within the industry. So our agency is called Bolu. It's a Yoruba name for ball, right? And it's essentially, it is what it is. I feel like the game is simple, it's plain. Like Mr. Tommy was telling us earlier, like the game has just become a bit complicated. But what we try to do is bring simplicity in the midst of complication. So here's the golden question, right? That we should ask ourselves. The average retirement age of a footballer is ranging, again, unless you're the Ronaldos, right? Is ranging between 28 and let's say 32, 34, 35. So an average guy like me, I'm not a footballer, right? I can plan for my pension. I can work till I'm 70, right? If I want to. But most footballers don't have that luxury. Once they're 35 and that clock starts to tick, then they have to think, what do I do between the age of 35 to 70, right? So they have their whole life ahead of them. Now, what happens when the final whistle blows? You've played the height of their careers, you've made a lot of money, you've traveled across the world, you've won the trophies. But now you've got to think about how life is going to be, because if all you've done throughout your life is you've been known to be just this person, the Ronaldo, the Haaland, right? Then somehow you're tied to that identity. And some of the things that we do, apart from managing these football players, is getting them to start to think, like my good friend Anthony was saying, think about yourself in different extensions, right? And I think a lot of footballers can benefit from this if they can think of themselves as, this is me as a footballer, but what other side of me can I take advantage of, right? Because once the final whistle blows, right, you've got to think about what happens. So John Terry, I saw him in March when I went to Cobhams to see a good friend of mine at Chelsea to have a meeting. And I remember just sitting at the lounge and he just walked out. And I just looked at him, I was like, wow, that's John Terry. And he just looked at me and he said, hi. And I'm like, wow, this is wonderful. It's got something to do after, leaving football, right? And that's what I think that a lot of football players need to start thinking from day one. Once you get in, think about your retirement, right? Because after you retire, then what next? Now, I think that when you look at players, they already have, and again, I'm going to talk from the principle of entrepreneurship, because when you look at entrepreneurship, for me, being involved in business virtually all my life, these are some of the features you need. You need to think about being disciplined as a business person, right? You need to train yourself as a business person as well. I go to a lot of events because anytime I have a conversation with somebody, there's something I'm learning. So I feel like I'm training myself. You need to be able to negotiate, right? And you need to be able to build your brand, right? If people don't know who you are, if people don't know who you stand for, we know what Gravity stands for example, is build the brand. I can see Gravity all over this place. I can see the caps, that's part of the things that you need in business. And then teamwork as well. You need to be able to work with other people, right? And I feel that when you look at football players, they already have that, because Haaland will not be who he is if Foden is not passing, right? Or if Rodri is not defending well, right? Or the goalkeeper is not. So, you've got to put in that teamwork. The brand value, right? Look, everyone knows R7, right? You put Ronaldo's picture somewhere, everybody knows who he is, right? So they're already building their brand value. So they have all these qualities in them. Negotiation. Footballers are always negotiating, right? How much am I going to get paid? Oh, I'm getting older. The salary needs to come down. No, I've given you X amount of time with the club. I'm sticking to this salary you're giving me. We can't pay you. Or let me move on to somewhere else. So they're always negotiating. Training, like I said earlier, and then discipline. There's no football player that can become who they are if they're not disciplined. So if you already have, the way we look at it is, if you already have this skill set, right, you could take it into something else, and entrepreneurship is one of them. So part of the things we do, in our agency is when we're having this, discussion with these players, okay, we negotiated, right? You've got signed to Arsenal, you've got 4 years in your contract. There are other things that we can look at. So we're beyond just being a football agency. We look into that areas as well in the line of entrepreneurship. Obviously, not every football player would want to do that. Some football players have, other ways of doing things. So it could be, what are you passionate about that you want the world to know? We know Marcus Rashford was very passionate about, the giving back to the school children. We know what Bukayo Saka is doing in that area as well, right? So they don't necessarily have to be entrepreneurship in terms of business entrepreneurship. It could be social entrepreneurship, for example. So for me, I look at the role of an agent is to pass on that confidence that they have, because agents do go through a lot of hard times. Most people think agents are people rolling in money, wearing Rolexes and driving Ferraris, but that's further from the truth. Jorge Mendes, Ronaldo's agent, went through a lot before he got to where he got to, right? But again, when you look at successful footballers, they always have that real agent who understands the game, who stands beside them. Fair enough, they're not together anymore because the business relationship has evolved over time, right? Because again, players move on, agents move on. But again, you can't write Ronaldo's story without having that. So from transfers to transformation, right? The football agent isn't just an agent of players, it's an agent of transformation. I like to think that, that we are agents of transformation. You start with a player, is young, you get to know their parents, you get to know their families, they get to know you. You go to their games, you get to know the things that they probably can't talk about to other people, but they can talk about to you, right? So the way I see it is, the agent should be a mentor who sees beyond the pitch. I like to have conversations with my players beyond just what happens on the pitch. Let's leave that world for a little bit. Let's go somewhere else. Let's have a conversation about other things apart from football. A connector who opens doors and guides, who helps athletes discover the next chapter. I think that's what an agent should be. Obviously, agents are in there to make money as well. It's a business. It's not a charity. But at the same time, we're there as well to help these football players connect to the bigger self that they have. So every player dreams of glory. But what we like to do with our players is to let them know that they're not defined by the field, they're powered by it, right? On the pitch, because you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, right? It's how you handle it that matters. So here's an example, right? This is a model that we've sort of created. Again, we all know Sir David Beckham, right? This is one of the most successful England players of all time. A player who found purpose beyond playing. We know when he was at his peak at Manchester United, we know what he did with the East Coast. He was an elite footballer, international recognition, performance. And then he retired around his, I think it was 36 or 37 or so. He played all around the world. But then he went into the MLS. He went into that world, but he seeked a lot of guidance when he was going in there. And when he was going into the MLS, people asked him, why is Beckham going to this place? Well, today he owns a club in America, right? Again, the discovery, he identified youth development because he has he had an academy, right? He identified areas like that. And then, he had a really good business strategy. So when you look at David Beckham today, and the David Beckham we knew in the 90s, the 2000s, it's completely different. He's reinvented himself completely. And again, I think we can all learn from that, right? You could basically just pick up certain football players, and you could just look at the way they plan their career and learn from that. Again, when we're talking about the voice of possibility, football teaches us that life's most valuable lesson. Football teaches life's most valuable lesson. It's just the context, the mindset that made you great doesn't expire when your contract does, right? You've got to keep that mindset. If you can become great with football, you can become great at everything else. Discipline never retires, leadership travels, resilience pays dividends. Keep being resilient. So again, the way we look at a footballer is that it's the business of you, right? Every athlete is a brand. I always say that. Every athlete is a brand. It's just the way you position your brand matters. Your network is your net worth. Footballers are privy to a lot of networks, right? Use that network well when you're playing. Influence to impact. You have a lot of influence. Use it to impact. Think like an agent as well. I usually tell my players, negotiate for yourself, build strategic partnerships, create your own opportunities. Your career is a business and you are the CEO. I always let my players know that your career is your business and you are the CEO. The agent is just there to guide you, right? The ultimate decision stays in your hand. You're still in the game, it's just a new field. So again, I'm just going to quickly run through this because of time. I like to use real life examples because I'm a practical person. A lot of the things we've talked about, a lot of the philosophy that we have at our agency at Bolu, we have real life examples to it. So real life transformation stories. Everyone knows this is one of my favorite football players, Andres Iniesta. We know him for playing for Barcelona and being part of the 2010 World Cup winning team with Spain in South Africa. But currently, right now, he owns a vineyard business in France. And that vineyard business is called Bodega Iniesta. It shows heritage roots and domain expertise. The key takeaway here is that it reinforces identity roots. The spots can lead to credible business ventures. So again, you can use that brand value built over time. Take one of your passion. One of his passion is winery and vineyards, and look what he's built for himself. Kalidou Makelele, right? We all knew him as the guy that you can't get past in the midfield. Currently he operates as a mentor, right? He returned to Chelsea FC in a clearly defined mentorship role. I think Chelsea does that quite well. I talked about John Terry earlier. They tend to draw in the ex-internationals to come and give back, right? So it shows that the giving back philosophy and fulfillment, like he said, this club gave me a lot and I want to give back and help the young players of dreaming of a career in football. So the key takeaway is a player can convert their playing experience into a structured mentorship role, right? You don't even have to do it in the capacity of a club, you can do it somewhere else. This is, again, one of my favorite players. I mean, I like Rio because of his personality, the way he has this larger-than-life personality. He cuts across different cultures. He turned into an investor. He's backed several startups, including a digital trading game called Ferrari. And he's also invested in tech companies. The key insight here is you can go from an elite athlete. If you have a lot of money, you can take that money and invest it into something else after your career. So you can make your money work for you as well, right? In the line of entrepreneurship, like we say, make your money work for you. I thought the sound. But again, this is just showing you they're having a conference that they're doing a lot. Art has been targeting me on Facebook and YouTube a lot this week. And I just happened to see the video and I downloaded it. But again, look, it's used his image, right? Surely Alibaba is going to pay him a lot of money just for doing this, right? He's not going to do it for free. So again, these are some of the things we can look at. A football player can tap into the area of entrepreneurship. They can tap into the area of, making sure that when they retire, they not take good advantage of what they've shown in the past. So ambition doesn't retire, it reinvents itself. You've already proven that you can win in the world of football, in the field. Now let's win beyond it. The final whistle is an ending. It's an invitation to play on the big stage with a higher stakes and unlimited possibilities. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my story.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Campbell, don't mind. I don't know what's talking about final whistle. My whistle hasn't blown finally. I just won 16 yesterday. Sign me, show me the contract, I'll sign it. Listen, I'm still fit. Listen, show me the contract, I'll sign it. The 40-year-old guy you saw this one was my twin brother. I'm 16. My twin brother is 40. Yeah? Mr. Campbell, sign me, please. Show me the contract. Show me the contract. My whistle hasn't blown.
Why you did me like this now? You won't blow my whistle.
No. That's it. Okay. Give a hand up for him. Everyone is hustling for that contract. I tell you the truth. Definitely. I'm willing to play football anytime later. If you need player, sign me. You sign me. You sign me. I'm good. I've got double F feet, but I'm good. I can strike the ball. Definitely. Give a wonderful clap for our agent. Come on. Did you enjoy the meal? I understand you had a lunch meal. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's good.
Who ever tried the full English breakfast when you came? You tried it? Yeah? You tried it?
No. Look at him. Do you think he would eat the full English breakfast?
Oh, then you didn't think you should.
Discipline, still discipline.
Oh, you should try the food. Have you heard of pounded yam? Pounded yam. You will try it, definitely. No, Tony, you need to try pounded yam. Absolutely. You need to try Peter's bread as well. Very great. Absolutely. Now we would like to invite Julio Rodriguez, the sports director for Las Rosas Football Club Spain, to further that discussion on insight into management, agency, and development within football. Give a wonderful clap for
Hello, nice to meet you. Hola.
Hola.
Buenas tardes. I'm Julio Rodriguez, General Director of La Rozas Club de Football, and Sport Director of La Rozas Club de Football. It's a club of Madrid, Spain, that in the last year have a big pursuit in Spain, in Madrid, for his young divisions, work very hard and very well. Okay. Sorry for my English, not my language matter. Okay, I'm explaining all the situation that we live in the club and what is this project. And thank you for Anthony for his work, nice work, and the football before when you play is very important. It's okay. It's very important, and in our group is the principal methodology in young division. It's easy for us and for the people who work in the club, because it's an area in Madrid that all the families have a good life and have in the north of Madrid, and all the guys continue his studies, and it's very important. And always we have the methodology and the psychology of the club speak all the years these situations, because we have under 15 years is in Spain is cadete, that the guy start thinking in other things, and it need to sit with the psychology of the club and explain all of these situations. If you like to know study, you like to come another another situations, no can play football here in this club. And all the guys sit down, think with his parents, and when they start in juvenil area in the club is guys of 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. We need to study in the club and play football. he have excellent divisions in La Rozas. We have Juvenil is the Division d'Honor is the name, and it's the top of the leagues. We play with Real Madrid. He played John League with Champions League, Atletico Madrid. He played John League, Villarreal, and La Roja stay in this division. And to stay in this division is very hard in Madrid, in Spain, but we have an excellent agreement with Real Madrid that some players not available in Real Madrid come to La Rozas and can have excellent teams and excellent young divisions. Okay. Yes.
Yes, that's better. Keep that.
Okay. Sorry for my English. Thank you for your work. Okay. And I explain some things of the club. Okay. Some pictures. Okay, La Roja is a club that founded in 66, has 16 years of history. Okay, and in the last year, with Angel Campos, the president, the club and the young division is in the top. Okay, his area, I say that the same is in Madrid, in the northwest. It's a good area, good life, and in the 5 years ago, we started a project to help new players, foreign players, to have a better life. And 2 years ago, Angel and me go to Cameroon to see, to speak the situation that players come to our country to play football, to professional football, and then the players stay in the city, have injury, have something like this, and no can continue. We have a lot of problems in Cameroon to do the visa, to do the papers, to do the, and we go to this country to offer to players excellent contract to live in Madrid with excellent opportunities, but we look a lot of people that don't like to do the good things, okay? And see all the situations and we need to change this. We need to work in another situations with agents that work good with the people that like to do the things, okay? And this start speak with some agents, start some situation, and now we have some players that play professional football. Lassine Kone now playing in Serbian First Division. We have another player that now Khalifa is another player that progress in the football. But it's very important for the club and for the president that do well the things. No can come with a player to Madrid, do all the papers, all the things, and this person no have a life in football, have a life in the studies, in some works, or continue in the group because in the club have 100 of coach, psychology, methodology. It's a small club, but work very hard and very good. La Rozas now is his first division women and men's staying in third division of Spain. Now we stay in the top of the league, and the project is to stay next year in second federation, and we'll see. But not is the objective. The first team is staying first in third division. The project is work hard in young division to stay in the first team, or these players can have a good career in football. Okay. This is, I speak with Sludi Garcia of Real Madrid, and Phil Campos have an excellent relationship with Real Madrid, and La Rozas and Real Madrid always speak for players when Real Madrid player not stay in the level of the professional teams of Real Madrid in young divisions. We speak with mine, the sport director of Real Madrid, and he come to La Rozas. Now we have in juvenil under 18, 19 years old, 3 players become Real Madrid, one Atletico Madrid, and in the first team had another player, Miguel Perales, and this player that had injuries in Real Madrid, and he come to La Rozas to recovery and to continue and can have a good physical to progress, and now the relation is very hard. Okay, we play some friendly matches, not all the weekends, but in the months with some divisions of Real Madrid teams, and we help to progress our players and Real Madrid, because we play under 18 with under 60 of Real Madrid. Okay? And yes, we help for Real Madrid and we help for La Roja. Okay, this is our thinking in the collective, the methodology of the group. We can speak a lot. Okay, and in La Rozas in the last year, you see in our stadium in the municipality have a capacity of 3,000 people, not a big stadium, but we have a good atmosphere and really good facilities in this area. Have 2 pits in the same situation, a gym, a physio clinic in the same area. It's excellent facilities for the players, have all in the same facility to progress and progress in his sport, that is football. Right? Okay, this is Emilia, the first Twitter, Instagram, and all the years we do an event in La Rozas. We have Iván Herrera, coach of La Rozas, 5 years ago. But this is very nice event. The name is Corazón Azul, to play with the heart, and with the colors, it's the blue of the club, like Chelsea. And it's very nice because all the young divisions stay in the band. Some guys speak the valors is the word, and the know for the how to do in the beats, or how to do. So all the things that this year have some guy that he throw the ball out because have another player in the pitch or something like this, or values, and some people of the sport in Spain, we can get some premiums, right? And and it's very nice because have a good atmosphere in this event. Okay? Well, this is a small presentation of Las Rozas, okay? But I have excellent relations with Puta and Seremi that come to London and we like to do good things with young divisions, with new contacts, and I think Las Rozas is an excellent club in Madrid. I think Madrid is capital of football like London, and I think that we can have a good connections with London, Madrid, and India, and a lot of cities, but always we need to do well the things, all the situations, because the same situation you can live here in London, we have in the club with some players that not have papers or not have some things, and this situation, this is problems in the future for the player, and need to do all the things what you do or like to do in the world, need to do in the correct direction. Okay, and nice to meet you. Sorry for any.
Julio Rodriguez, everyone. Come on. Come on. A loud applause for Julio Rodriguez. I'm not sure. I hope you were all paying attention. If you've read about Las Rozas, there's a huge lesson to learn. The vision, the resilience. This club was founded on the 1st of March, 1966. 1991 to 1992 season, they gained promotion to the 4th division for the first time. That's 25 years wait. Here before us is the chairman of the club, the founder himself of the club, of the Las Rozas. We would like to acknowledge him. A lot of applause.
Buenas tardes. La verdad es que sobran mis palabras porque Julio ya ha explicado fehacientemente qué es nuestro club y qué representa nuestro club.
Good afternoon. That Julio told before, and he explained well explained all the things about the club, but he's going to add some words. But Julio has explained very well before.
Somos un club con una gran cantera, con una gran historia y con la vocación de hacer del deporte un instrumento de articulación, de vertebración social para que los niños se vinculen en la práctica del deporte y la asunción de criterios como el esfuerzo, la solidaridad, el respeto, la tolerancia al prójimo.
Yeah. It is a club that not always focus in the results and in the way that they play, and also it's important to improve the skills and the human skills of the persons that are part of the club, and not just results. It's a team that focus very well on that kind of aspects of the life that is very important, that is the human aspect.
Somos un club con más de 800 niños y niñas y tenemos también equipos femeninos en categoría nacional y se caracteriza ese club también por fomentar esos valores y de este club han surgido jugadores muy importantes para el fútbol español y algunos han jugado en Inglaterra.
It's a club with around 1,000 boys and girls, and there are like so many number of players that play the first division. For example, Marcos Llorente, that is a former player of Las Rozas. Andrei Sorin is a player that plays in the first team and played in the Barça Academy. It's a huge number of players that have been in the Academy of Las Rozas that is growing up and is going to achieve like the maximum level, is the objective, to reach the level of Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid and those top clubs and be like in the same level.
Álvaro Mejía, que jugó 4 años en el primer equipo del Madrid, coincidiendo con David Beckham. Antonio Núñez, que fue un año jugador del Liverpool con Benítez entrenador y fue campeón de Europa ese año. Y muchos jugadores en primera división, en el Osasuna, en otros equipos de primera división. Somos una cantera que fomenta esos valores y que nos caracterizamos desde siempre por tener un respeto máximo por el balón y por propiciar que estos niños aprendan los conceptos del fútbol y mejoren su técnica individual también.
We also have a player that played for Liverpool, for the Champions League team in 2006, with Rafa Benítez, Steven Gerrard, that is called Núñez, that was part of that team. And also the methodology, as Julio said before, is to improve with the ball and the way that Barcelona, for example, Guardiola plays or Mikel Arteta with the ball and be like important in the game with the ball and associating and a good football skills for the game.
Es difícil la captación en nuestra cantera, en las categorías inferiores, porque al tener un convenio de colaboración con el Real Madrid, somos el único club que tiene ese convenio, pues el Real Madrid tiene, digamos, supervisto todos los jugadores que se mueven en el club.
And we are linked with Real Madrid, as also Julio said before. Some players that they don't reach the level of Real Madrid go on loan to Las Rozas and they improve his skills. For example, in 1 or 2 years, go again for Real Madrid and be at the top level in this team.
Y para terminar, simplemente comentar que somos un club humilde, somos un club con esos valores, pero somos un club que estamos dispuestos a colaborar en todos los proyectos que estén a nuestra mano y en extender la poca experiencia que podamos tener a todos los clubes que así podamos convenir con ellos. Y nada más, muchas gracias.
And we think that we are an open-minded club that will reach agreements with very good persons as Buta and all his friends, and go ahead with that interesting project that we will talk about later. And very thank you to listen to us, and that's it.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Campos, ladies and gentlemen.
What began as a thought has become a legacy that will transcend generations to generations. We heard of football clubs who were founded in the 1880s and early 1900s. And some of us don't even know who founded the club we support. Well, right here, we're sitting before us, raising our presence as a man who's founded the club. Now, in the next 200 years, 300 years to come, would remain strong and kicking. And the fans in the 200 years may not even know who the founder is, but we have seen the founder, and that's it. Greatness transcends our very existence. It goes from generation to generation. And this is what we must all behold and hold. It doesn't matter what you do, whatever you do it well. Have faith and grow that which you have, your capacity, your ability, your passion. Let it go, and you can achieve if you believe it. What he thought was just, if you ask him 59 years ago, 1966, if he could believe probably talking about Real Madrid having support, sitting with the president of Real Madrid. He probably think you probably tell him, what was I doing in 1966? I'm sure I was probably I wasn't even the fault of my parents at all. But that's how long this vision has been. And I'm sure my hope is that your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will take over the mantle and carry this legacy beyond their own generation. Come on, people, give it one. And seated before us, we haven't forgotten. There's only one Tommy Taylor. 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 Come on, what is the fact for Tommy Taylor? The legend, the winner. Come on. And right now, we would like to. Is anyone having a great time today? Yeah. Give a wonderful clap for yourself. And we will be talking about the women empowerment in sports. We're talking about empowering women through football and sports leadership. Like I said, behind every great man, there's a great woman. And even women have an important role to play in every aspect of society, sports, every industry you can think about. And we would like to invite the formidable three, the phenomenal three, Emma Tendo with MJ and Lily Tendo. Give her one of them. Come on. Emma, Lily. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
We're winning 1-0 at the moment.
Or winning 1-0. Up the check. Blue is the color. Football is the game. We're all together. Winning is our aim. So share us out through the sun and rain. Cause Chelsea is our name. Thank you, Emma. We're really happy to have you here. Oh, you're wearing an Arsenal.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not the God.
This one's Arsenal.
Oh, look at this. She brought it. Nice having you here, and we hope that you will gain something inspiring from them and from yourself. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be taking time out of this tight schedule. We really appreciate your presence today. Over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma Tendo, MJ, and Lily Tendo.
A rare moment that the boy Tendals have to take a back seat and sat at the back. It's a very unusual situation for them to be in right now. Very awkward. So they can enjoy the girls at the front. Straight off the football pitch, as you can see by the bright yellow. They want to say something. I don't know entirely what it is. We have not scripted anything for their involvement, so I can apologise now for things that might come out of their mouth. I said to them, do you want to do slides? Do you want to do pictures? And MJ went, no, I like to speak straight from the heart. I don't want to write anything down, I'm just going to speak. So again, I apologise now for whatever comes out. But just quickly, the reason why I asked to do this. So I set up a group called the Sisterhood 18 years ago, and it was off the back of, I grew up all over the world. Grew up in the Middle East and Egypt and Kuwait and South Africa, and we were in Berlin when the wall came down. And I was an army brat. So my dad was army. I'm very old school, military, and very girls know your place and look pretty and keep quiet and just do what you're told. And I was that kid that went, screw you, no. You tell me to go left, I'm going to go right, and I'm going to be really, really loud about it. and don't play sports. So I play lots of sport, and I played with the boys, and I played the trombone because no other girl in the school played the trombone because girls don't play trombone, and climb trees, and that was my childhood. And throughout it all, sport just united, and sport is what I live for. It's what I did all day, every day. But pushing 50, I was not in that generation, that we'll speak in a minute, that ever had any idea that I could possibly do sport as a profession and play sport as a profession. It just didn't come in anywhere near me. It's you play for fun. As girls doing sport, it was a hobby, and you were humoured, and you could have a little run around, and only if you kept looking pretty, you did get dirty. So that was sort of my childhood and what I did 18 years ago. Again, this is more going into adults and in the business world, and looking at actually men come out of university and they keep doing sport, and they go on golf weekends, and they keep playing football, and just run football with your mates on a weekend. And women, young women, you didn't really have it. There was some, but I was a big lacrosse player. I played lacrosse for England. I came out, top level, came out of university and down to London, and it was sort of, well, where could I do that? I had to do a job, and the nearest proper lacrosse club was an hour and a half to go to, so I couldn't justify keeping doing that. And the sisterhood it grew out of, it was a drum set. It was in a pub, and there was a group of men, and they had just done a race, and they were like, yeah, well, we're the brotherhood, and we just did this race down the river, like 50 miles down the river, and we're going to go across the English Channel in a dragon boat. And I went, so you, I'm going to launch the sisterhood, and we're going to race you across the English Channel. A whole load of women I knew, whether it was from the sports world, work world, just ex-university people, ex-school people who wanted to do this. And the thing that we found was it was the getting together, it was the confidence, it was the training. And to start with, the brotherhood was like, we all train together, and I said that won't work. It won't work because of the confidence side of it. The last thing these women want to do at 5 in the morning is get in a dragon boat with a load of macho men, because that ain't going to give us any confidence whatsoever. So that's where the sisterhood grew from, and it's grown, and it's over 300 women, like professional women, have been part of it. We do big balls every year. We have relay run from LA to Vegas. We have swum the channel. We've rafted the Amazon, and this year I took 54 women founders, big female founders. 54 female founders, and we drove rickshaws from Chennai to Goa, 1,200 kilometers across India, which there's a reason why less than 2% of women in India drive. And this was 54 women, not just driving cars, we were driving rickshaws, and there's a reason why we ended up on the front page of pretty much every Indian newspaper, because everyone thought we were mad and crazy. And to be honest, the scariest thing when doing that is trying to miss the cows, because cows are sacred, and that's what we were on the ship instructions. You can crash into a lorry, but off a beach, you run over a cow. And we did it, and we raised money, £150,000 for building, and that was street kids. So street kids in Chennai to have an education, help at schools, the girls, also upskill young women into having actual skills. It wasn't an assumption that they just had to go out and find a husband, have babies. They actually had skills. So as a result, there's a sisterhood block with 5 training rooms that's being built, and that's to upskill young women in accountancy to be able to drive a rickshaw, to be a taxi driver. So that sort of, it was female founders, and what we felt, the circle of life, so to speak, and it's bad enough, in this country, in the Western world, being female businesswomen and female founders, and again, less than 2% of any funding in this country goes to female founded businesses. And we just felt that actually it was important to actually realise how privileged we are, and we can whine about that on the scale of women and girls and where we are. I'm white, middle-aged, went to private school, I'm just not a man. That's literally the only box I tick. Other than that, I am the part of the most privileged group in the world. And that's, you know, a lot of these female founders, when we took them, were reminded of this. But on another note, and on the sports side, is to me, sport and girls in sport, it's more than, oh look, getting the girls to have a run around. It's more than the fitness. It's empowering them, it's giving them that confidence to go out in the world, to know teamwork, to know grit, to know resilience, to have that drive, to think that they can be anything they want to be when they grow up, and anything they want to be in the world, and that they are equal to the boys. And that, when you look at the statistics of not just women, of men, it's something like over 95% of the CEOs of 50 businesses in the world all play sport at a top level. If you look at even more statistically on that front, you look at the statistics of businesswomen, and again, the CEOs and the MDs and successful businesswomen, they all play sport as girls. It's extraordinary when you actually take it out of the sports world and look at the bigger picture, and look at what playing sport as kids does for the rest of your life. And the rest of your adulthood. And at the beginning of last year, we've got 2 girls, as you can see, and the way their football started is that they were playing for where their brother played, which was Salford, which is a local club in Surrey, very gritty, very old school boys, and they were the only girls playing at this stage, 5, 6, 100 boys. And when it gets to under 7s, it goes off and they go into teams, and it's dad managed teams. And Lily, eldest one, she was playing in the top group. You know, there were probably about 60 boys in her age group. She was up there playing with the rest of them, running circles around them. But when I messaged and said if Lily was going to go in a team, what was she going to? The reply I got was, oh, there's no space in the teams. You can imagine it went down, did not go down well. So we met a guy called Dan Riley, who is a big part of Staines and Leyland Football Club, another big old school British grassroots open cross football club, and he had a daughter. And beginning of last year, sort of helped him round up other girls to launch the Staines and Leyland Lionesses, which now within a year has over 80 girls between 7 and 12 playing, and is fielding 5 different age group of teams across the Surrey leagues, winning tournaments all the time. And to me, just watching these two, a big part of that, because you look at them and you think, you stop thinking about yourself and my generation, and my head is, what is the world, what do I want the world to look like that they go into as adults? And if they go in age like 17, 18 into adulthood and think they can't do what boys do, then quite frankly, I failed. So that's sort of the mission with that. But I'm going to let, you going? No. They wanted to bring different shirts because they don't just do football, they play for Sunbury Cricket Club in the Surrey League, they play basketball, what else do you do? Hockey. Anyway, I will let MJ wants to say some words, so I'll hand over to MJ. Are you back?
is my basketball shirt and I play for Sunbury Falcon Eagles. And it's a club where you do basketball and do camps, all sorts of matches. Like girls doing sports, they started with boys, all boys, and the coach said they wanted a girls group because he had a daughter, so he chose a girls group. So that's when me and my sister are in the girls group.
Why do you think it's important for girls to play sport?
Because if girls don't play sport, they won't learn any new skills or anything more important.
Why?
This is my cricket one. It's Sunbury Cricket Club, and it has on names on like here. So it says my name, but on my sister's one it says Lily and Tim because her name is a bit longer than mine. It's important to play sport because you need to know what's important about it and what is teamwork and all kind of stuff making skills.
Okay, Lily, just quickly, Lily wrote something, so I'm going to let Lily read it. And you have a lot more details I would try to read this. Do you want me to read it for you? Okay, this is what Lily wrote. Okay, you read it.
Hi everyone, my name is Lillian. Today I want to tell you why sport is important for girls like me. First of all, sports are super fun. I love to run, play and try new things. Wherever it's football, cricket, swimming or dancing, sports make me happy. But that's not all. Sports help us to stay healthy and strong. When I play, my heart beats fast, my muscles go, and I feel full of energy. It's good for our bodies and our mind. Sports also teach us big lessons, teamwork. We learn to play together. Confidence. We believe in ourselves, never giving up. We keep trying, even if it's hard. Some people think boys are better at sports, but that's not true. Just look at Chloe Kelly. She's strong, smart, and amazing. When girls play sports, we feel brave, happy, and powerful. We learn that we can do anything. So let's cheer for all girls to play, run, and shine, because sports are for everyone, not just boys. Thank you, I'm Lily, and I love sports. I know everyone knows this, but remember when women's won Euros?
Repeat Spain.
Won the Euros.
Then, do you know what? I'm just going to ask my husband actually to come up and speak for 2 minutes, because as someone, he's a double Olympian. He played in the Beijing and London hockey Olympics. And the reason I'm asking him to come up is when we first got together 12 years ago, I had to teach him that women's hockey wasn't a hobby. It was as important as the men's hockey, which actually the women, GB women's team actually went and showed that by winning gold. But I just want him to say a few words, being the dad of girls, and how important it is for the girls to be involved in sport.
I'm like MJ and Lily. I obviously didn't have anything planned. I was happily at the back filming. I think for me, it's been an eye-opener, especially having two girls. And Raf, my eldest, has gone through that football academy. He's in that kind of process. It's different with the girls. They don't have the access. They don't have the opportunities that were given. I was quite blasé when I was coming up playing my sport because I had pretty much everything. And what kind of impassions me now is seeing these girls get those opportunities, and also the wider sort of communities as well, to make sure that the talent that's out there is identified wherever it may be, but also just let them have a go, just let them play, let them try. And obviously with Rojas doing what they're doing as well, is building that together. The more people that can come together and say, well, actually, the women's side is just as important, which it is. And I mean, they're winning more than the men right in England. So that's why we're behind them a lot of the time. And obviously being a Chelsea fan, Chelsea women are winning more as well. So I think we need to give those aspects as well. People spoke about street children in Chennai and obviously Mumbai. It's kind of, there's an opportunity. Sport is the one thing in the world that can bring everyone together, that can create unbelievable connections, can create opportunities, whether it's education, whether it's sport, going on to a higher level, or working in sport. And for me and Emma, the big thing is to make sure that our girls have that opportunity, and then how can we influence kind of other areas. So it's great to see. I'm probably slightly more nervous when I watch the girls play because of the challenges that they put through. But no, I definitely think women's sport's on the way, commercially it's on the way up as well. And it's great to see so many people and clubs and communities getting behind kind of not just women's sport, but kind of the less represented communities as well. That's the thing about it.
The signals, everyone, come on. Thank you. I think one thing, the moral of the story is this: everyone is born with an ability, whether a boy or girl, and everyone has a right to dream. And with that right, everyone should be. I mean, give a wonderful clap for that, definitely. And I think, I believe that no one should be denied the right to achieve or pursue the dream just because of their gender. And I want to thank Emma for facilitating, for opening a door to encourage and motivate others, ladies, to believe and to pursue the dreams. Thank you once again. Thank you. And about now, we will be going into the next item. We'll be talking about strict kids, empowerment, and global leadership. And speaking on this will be Mr. Joe Cornelius. He's the founder and CEO of Trinity Global Services. Mr. Cornelius, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen. A louder applause. Joe Hebrew and Cornelius Roman. I won't forget that. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank my friends Ucha Gill, Rani Gill, my brother-in-law Ruben, and Anthony for, first of all, the first three people to inviting me here in the UK, and Anthony for inviting us in this platform. so that we can present our thoughts in front of you all. And it's a great privilege to hear everybody speak and their thoughts. It was really encouraging because it's a gateway city. London is a gateway city, but our thoughts can go to the world. You may think that it's just a small gathering here. We are on YouTube Live, but irrespective of that, some very important people, key people are here. We are traveling, there are people from Spain, these people from African continent, I from India. It's a global gathering. So thoughts are going, after this, the thoughts will go across the globe. So a few things that I want thanking everybody. I would like to just get into my talk for some few minutes with a small thing about me. I'm from Mumbai, married and have 2 kids. My story is very simple. When I was 2 years old, my father broke my mother's teeth and he put a dagger on her chest. And he left us, and I was the only child. And since 2 years of my age, I was fatherless. As I grew up, I realized that no, I'm not going through this all over again. I want to do something for those who suffer like me, or maybe worse than me. So I focused all my thought process. I centered my whole thought process on the fulcrum of this thought that we need to do something for those who are fatherless, who are orphans, and change destinies, change lives. And so we came up with this number, this amazing number of 300,000 street children in Mumbai. And Mumbai being the financial capital, but you can have poor people going around, just like New York, you have homeless people, just like in the big cities, you have homeless people. So we said, okay, we will do something very different, and we started working among street children. And it's a very different kind of thought process that we sit among them. They are into drugs, they are into abuse, they are dirty, they are in a very bad shape. You have to go after your job, park your car somewhere, go sit with them, have food with them. They will feed you. They'll be so smelly and dirty. And when you spend time with them and you go back, you will smell of them. So it's so when you get used to that kind of a system, that it gets into your bloodstreams that you need to make a difference in their lives. Who knows? If you change one of those lives, somebody will be a prime minister of a country. Somebody will be a big footballer, a famous footballer, a great sports personality. But that one step that you take can transform lives of many people. So we start, a couple of my friends and we started this. We were initially doing work with other organizations, but after some time, a couple of our friends and we started this foundation called Children of God Foundation in Mumbai. We have created our own syllabus of education. Kids who do not have any education, they come to us. We have a 3-year module of education, and they are just educated, and they do 10th grade, 12th grade, and then a lot of them will go ahead and do graduation and post-graduation. So in the last 18 years of this foundation, we have helped rescue more than 400 street kids. And a lot of them educated, become graduates, postgraduate, one girl, married kid, settled in the US. There are amazing stories over this 300, 400 kids in Mumbai that we've been doing. So now that this model was so successful, that we are able to educate them, train them on football, train them on music and singing and all of that they can do. So a few years back, this thought came into the mind that why don't we make them fantastic sports personalities? So we worked upon, and I've become an exclusive partner with a company called European Golf Design, which is part of the European tour, which runs the European golfing circuit based out of West London. So the whole idea is we are creating projects now in India with thousands and thousands of acres of land where we will have World Cup golf course designs. We'll have sports academy, not just golf, football, hockey, everything. And in all this project, the profits will be allocated for the development, full sponsorship for street children. So that whatever we do, try to do for the street children, it will be a self-sustaining program, and it's been going fantastic. And now this idea is now in this state in London, we have taken this idea to another level. So we are shortly forming a sports management company in the UK, along with Mr. Bhuta Gill, Rani Gill, and my brother-in-law, and some of our friends here. And this sports management company will not only help street children, but will also kind of get aspiring players from India who want to get trained at big clubs like Las Rosas and Real Madrid, and maybe some EPL clubs here in England. They will pay, but the thing is, we become a right channel partner, a right company. Like how Phil just said, that if the company here or the people here are honest, sincere, and if they're able to do a good job, then there is a lot of supply. A lot of people want to spend their money, get alternative careers. They could come here, learn football, they could take up other courses. So if not football, they could study, they could take up jobs, and so on and so forth. So we are doing that, and it is really fantastic. So, but that is not the only thought process that we have. The question is how the street children thing happens. It is not just poverty, but right now what's happening in the world is really crazy. You look at Nigeria, thousands of what's happening in Nigeria? Thousands of people are killed, aren't they? Yeah. Anybody from Nigeria here? So, isn't it happening? Like thousands of people are being killed right now. Congo, look at Congo. What's happening in Congo? So and look at what's happening in the Middle East. This war thing is crazy. So many people are dying. You know what it leaves behind? Street children, orphans, no one to take care of them. So fantastic beyond the pitch idea, but I want to take this thought from the grassroots to those people who are suffering all over the world. If we are able to do something for them, transform them, have integrated inclusive programs which will help them help them transform lives at the grassroots level in every part of the world. We can make a difference. It's not just about us, about our children, about our careers, and so on and so forth. It's about what we do. It could be a drop in the ocean, but it can make a huge difference in many lives. So if we are able to have collectively come together and do something for these people, it is fantastic. So I get inspiration from one of my forefathers from the UK. You must be wondering, I'm an Indian, how can my forefathers be from the UK? Yes, his name is John Wesley. I don't know whether you heard of him. Yes. He started the Methodist movement. He did something very fantastic. John Wesley, his brother, Charles Wesley, George Whitefield, and a few other men, they started doing prayer. And for 2 weeks, in a week, they did 12 hours of fasting, every day 3 hours of prayer. And they tarried for 2 years praying, and that 5 people became 70 people praying. And something fantastic happened in the United Kingdom. There was fire, just like in the Bible it says about Acts of the Apostles. There was fire, and there was a change, and there was a movement. When those people died, that movement became a monument. I wonder, we need a healing in this world today. I wonder if we are ready to fast on our vaping. We are ready to fast on even on social drinks. We're ready to fast on smoking. We're ready to fast on those things that's not required. And tarry in the presence of God so that something will happen in this world which needs healing. And if there is a fire from heaven and there is a movement, among us, and there's a change that this world needs. No management theory is going to change, but only he can change. So if we can do something like that and have a thought process, as I sow the seed in your hearts, something can happen in this world. As Martin Luther said, I have a dream, and that's my dream. If thousands and hundred thousands of kids, street kids, poor people, they get a chance, a second chance. Everybody needs a second chance. If they get a second chance, and beyond the pitch, from pain to purpose, that's the nerve of this meeting. That's what I want to talk to you, leave this thought with you. God bless you, and all the best for your practice. Thank you.
Allow your applause, Mr. Cornelius. Thank you for that, Mr. Cornelius. I think the moral of the story is that a nation is only as strong as the people, and the grassroots is the microcosm of the people, the hub of the country. And for you to have a decent, strong nation, you must first transform the grassroots. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you must ensure that they are attended to. For the grassroots is as important for the reputation of the nation. And what forms the grassroots? The family. So if you attend to the family, you attend to a community. And if you attend to a community, you attend to a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, a loud applause for Mr. Cornelius. Thank you. Julio, I'm still waiting for my contract. I'm still here. I'm still here. We are going to go into an open mic session where we invite the guests to share stories, lessons, and breakthrough. At this time, you are free to come forth if you have any thing you would like to share, any wisdom, any story, any testimony, any experience you would like to share. Please step forward to the mic. The mic is all yours too. If you want to talk to us about something, tell us about something, your experience, what you've learned, and what we need to do to improve as people. Does anyone have something to share? Mr. Jide would like to invite you to the mic. Come on. Oh, we understand Mr. Rodriguez have to go, Mr. Campbell have to go. Can we please give them an excellent applause, please? Thank you for coming. Give them an excellent applause. An excellent applause. Allow their excellent applause. Thank you for coming. Julio Rodriguez, Andrew Campos, thank you for coming. Thank you.
I wasn't expecting this, but the first thought that comes into my head, just based on what a lot of people have been talking about today, would be perhaps from the path of resilience. I'd say I'm not too young and I'm not too old. I'm just right in the middle. So, and I know that there are people here who've got more life experience than myself, but yeah, perhaps some of the things I can say just based on my life experience is about resilience. One of the things I've noticed, especially, from my generation, going downwards, the Gen Zs, I feel like there's this thing of when people try things and it doesn't work, and they just tend to give up. And I've got to be honest, in my very young years, I used to be sort of like that. You try things, you pick them up, it doesn't work, and then you go to the next thing. But one of the things I've quickly noticed over a period of time was the fact that I started to notice that people that stuck at something over a period of time, it was almost like the law of averages always worked for them. So they tend to just achieve that goal at the end of the day. So they could start to being sort of like average, they keep trying, they keep trying, they keep trying, they keep trying. And they get to a point where they gain mastery over what they're doing. And because they keep doing it over and over again and they don't give up, they tend to be the ones that achieve. I mean, if you look at the world of football, we all like to see football players that we idolize, and we see how they got straight to the top, the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Haalands. But when you look like somebody like a Eberechi Eze, for example, who just got signed by Arsenal, what a phenomenal story. I mean, got released by Arsenal when he was 13, went to, I think, QPR, he got released. I think he had a stint with some of the club. And then finally, they took a chance in him, QPR, and got loaned out a couple of times, came back, and then he started to get into his elements. At some point, being a dual national, it was Nigerian, his parents are Nigerian and England. He was thinking of playing for Nigeria. People said you wouldn't be good enough to play for England. Like a prime number 10 for England, got signed by Arsenal. So when you look at things like that, and personally, from my own life, there are things that I've tried that hasn't worked, and then I found that one thing, and I just kind of stuck to it, right? And I kept going and going. Also, on a more personal level, in 2017, I got diagnosed with cancer. And getting into the hospital, the doctors looked at me and they said, well, we don't know where we're going to go from here, stage 4. We don't even know whether it's spread to other parts of the body. But, with a lot of resilience, I'm a Christian by faith. I don't hide my faith. I held on to that part of me. I think we all have things that we believe in. I went into the hospital. I did what the doctors told me to do. I changed my diet, did a lot of prayers, just changed my lifestyle, and added a lot of resilience and things as well. I started to find meaning in things that I didn't find meaning in. Spending more time with the family as opposed to just chasing life and the hustle, right? And I'm not where I want to be, but I definitely am not where I used to be. So thank you very much for allowing me to share my story. Where's the MC? Okay, I think there's someone else. Thank you.
Thank you. One clap for Jide, please, everyone. Come on. A lot of applause for Jide. Anyone else to say? I believe you have something in your heart today. Tommy Taylor, everyone. A lot of applause as we as Tommy Taylor takes his take. Come on. A lot of applause, a lot of applause, a lot of applause for Tommy Taylor, the legend, the phenom, the icon. Thank you for coming, Tommy. We appreciate you. We love you, Tommy. We love you. Legend. Legend. A few words of thank and a thank remark to everyone who's attended and those who's joined in online. Where's the host? I think the host is just. On behalf of the host, I would like to thank everyone who's made it here today. All right. I'd like to thank everyone who's made it here today. We know you've sacrificed so much to get here. Is it all good? All right. Okay. We want to thank everyone who's got all the guests, the guest speakers. We want to thank you, Mr. Jide Ladapo. We want to thank Mr. Julio Rodriguez. We want to thank Angel Campos. We also want to thank Joe Cornelius. We want to thank Emma Tindo, MJ, and Lily Tindo, and Mr. Tindo himself. We want to thank the host who's made this possible, and every single person from the cameraman, from the media team. Thank you. Thank you to the hospitality group. We thank you. We see you at the back. Thank you for the guests and for everyone who's joined in online. Ladies and gentlemen, we wrap this up and we'll say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for thanking me. Everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you.